Here we go. All right,
You forgot the
Shyler.
camera oil.
Shyler, you are the agent.
Okay.
Ben is the customer, and Ben's calling you, and I'm the referee, but Ben's going to
Okay.
be the coach, okay?
All right.
I'm the referee. Ben's the coach. He gets to make all critiques, and he'll say, here's the rules. Here's the rules to role play. If there's something he wants to just stop and talk about, he'll say, that's it.
Yep.
There's something that we do that's totally just it's obvious. He's going to say flunk. And flunk
Okay.
is you just have to get over it if you don't like the way it sounds or whatever.
Yeah, it means yeah, you fumbled the ball. We're gonna start over.
We're going to start over. We're going to
It's a good
redo.
thing.
We're going to
I
redo the
rather I rather
exact
get
thing.
like five flunks. Sorry, I was gonna say I'd rather get like five flunks and get none, because then there's something I can improve. You know?
That's right. So we're going to be pretty strict on it, but
Okay.
he can say flunk or that's it, and he can say, hey, say this, and then you could tweak it and do it again until it's good. If it takes 5 times, it takes 5 times. We coach one thing at a time before we coach a second thing.
We coach with reality, so we make it real life. Like you've seen me do this a couple of times. How do I do when I'm being the person that's, the customer?
It's pretty
Do I
real.
just, yeah, do I just exaggerate like a million things? Like we all know, I won't say his name on this because it's just being recorded, but we know someone that used to work with us here that role playing was like, how do I make this the most disastrous possible thing for this person so they can't solve it rather than being real?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
has
that
to be
was
real.
funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So now Ben, customer, coach, Shyler,
Hmm.
agent, uh, getting coached. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Start.
Hello, this is Shyler. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hi, Seamus.
Shyler Phipps.
Oh, oh, Shyler. Hi, Shyler. My
How
name
are
is
how,
Andrew. My name is Andrew.
Andrew? How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, I'm glad to hear it. And hey, I could get you all that information you were looking at there in the shortest amount of time possible. Really just wanted to make sure here, like,
I'm
what's
sorry I called you Seamus. I'm sorry. That's
hey,
my
you're
my my grand my grandson's name.
that's all right. Hey, just don't call me late for dinner. But like I was saying, just I was curious, what got you to call in? I guess what stood out to you?
Well, there's a lot of this. I see this on my tickety tockety and every day. There's free insurance. It's like $40,000, and I want some of that free insurance.
I got you. So that's what you're seeing. And really, it sounds like you're just wanting to make sure you can figure out a way to protect the family, when the good Lord calls you
Oh,
home.
yes. Oh, yes. I
I
used
got you.
to have something, but this policy, it basically was it expired. I didn't know.
It expired, like lapsed, or was it like, do you know what
Oh,
had
I know.
happened?
I paid them for years. I paid for years, and then after 10 years, they said, "Oh, no more."
Oh, wow. So you're with like these types of programs, is that probably why you called? You're looking for something that's more permanent, that's going to last you your whole life. They can't call you and tell you you don't have it anymore.
Oh, yes. I
Okay.
definitely want some coverage for the family, and
Yeah.
I don't want to, pass and they have to pay for it. But if it's free, it's even better.
Yeah, I got you. Absolutely. And then, well, let me just let you know a little bit about these plans and how they work. I think it'll be a good fit for it, but we'll find out here. So really, these final expense plans, they just go through like smaller, affordable, permanent whole life policies. They are regulated down there by the state of Florida. And these ones, they're designed specifically for people who are on like a limited or fixed income each month, like Social Security or disability, even our disabled vets. Is that
Uh,
a little bit like your situation? Are you still working?
oh no, I'm retired, but I do get the Social Security, so
Okay, I got you. So
it's
this
not
is
bad. But Shayla, tell me, do am I going to have to pay? Do I have to pay all my monies? They
all
already
your
took
all your
most of my
monies.
monies.
Definitely not all your monies. So
Oh, okay.
really, these
It's not a lot, so
no, and that's totally fine. I mean, I work with people every day that they're making anywhere from like $900 a month to $1,200 a month. So I'm familiar with you, in that route. I got a lot of clients I help out there, and like I said, they're not your real big expensive type plans. They are smaller, more affordable. Like I said, they are permanent. They're not going to change on you. No surprises there. Uh, Really, it's not like what you see on TV or what you get in the mail. Like from companies like Globe Life, Colonial Penn, AAA. You ever see
But why
anything out
why
there?
yeah, yeah, you reminded me, but why are they put in the ads it says 40,000 for free? Why is it free? But you tell me it's not free. I know it's not your fault.
Yeah, well, I honestly I don't know exactly what you saw. Um, but all I know
Yeah,
is
I told you I saw
yeah,
40,000 for free. That's what I'm telling you what I saw.
yeah, okay,
That's what I saw.
40,000 for free. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not in control of what the ads say. But I'm just the guy that helps people out to where, if they want to make sure their family's protected when the time comes. I work with about 50 different carriers. I'm licensed with 19 of them. And really, at the end of the day, my intention is just to make sure that if this is something you need to get crossed off your list, I will find you the best program in the country based off your age
Okay.
and your health.
Well, I
Um,
appreciate that. But yeah,
I
obviously,
got you.
I get it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't control the ad. That makes sense. But
Yeah.
hopefully it won't cost me too many cents.
We'll make sure it fits within your budget. I can promise you that. And then just to make sure, we can even help you. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 73.
Okay, 73. So you're still a spring chicken?
Oh yes, I
All right.
still give me grandson a run for his money.
Perfect.
Maybe I should
Perfect.
run with his money.
I gotcha. Well, is your grandson going to be your beneficiary, or did you have someone else in mind that, would be taking care of all those final arrangements for you?
Oh yes, the boy will get the money. He's a good lad.
Okay, I gotcha. And, I don't know, call me corny if you will, but, I personally think that getting insurance is like an act of love towards somebody. It's one thing to just tell somebody you love them, but to do something that shows that even when you're not here anymore, you're still going to be there for him in some aspect. Like, does does he know you're looking into leaving some insurance for him?
Oh no, he doesn't need to know, but
Okay. And
yeah,
what was his name, by the way?
his name is Seamus.
Seamus, that's right. You told me earlier. I remember now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you said he doesn't need to know? Is it like a surprise or like a gift or something for him?
Yeah, or maybe let him know in a couple of years. I'll leave it where he could find it, but
Okay.
don't need to tell him.
Fair enough. So it's not like we need his stamp of approval to get it in place for you. It's just, you know what you want
Oh
to
no.
do.
Oh
Uh,
yes, I make up my mind if there's anything we can do for him, and for me then
okay.
Shayla, you're a good lad. I like you. I think we can hopefully we can find something.
Yeah, absolutely. And then by the way, like, did you need this to cover like a funeral, cremation, or was it just to leave something for Seamus?
Well, if it was up to me, he could have all the money and they could throw me in the ocean. But
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's got to
my
deal with.
that might alert the authorities, and
It
we
might.
might have a wee bit of a problem. But they could cremate me.
Okay, so definitely the way to go. A lot of my clients are taking that route nowadays.
Yeah.
Definitely the cheaper option, so it gives you the ability to, you know, keep a bit more of your money in your pocket every month and
Well, it
leave
won't be
him
in
some
my
extra.
pocket. It'll
Well,
be in
no, I
his
mean
pocket.
when it comes to the premium, the cents you got to put
Ah,
towards it.
ah,
Um,
I see.
because funerals are quite a bit more expensive. They range anywhere from like 10 to 15. You
Yeah,
can
why
get,
do you have to throw such a pity party for someone that died? They're just gone to somewhere else. I mean, you got to pay thousands of dollars to have everyone go into a room, look at your dead body in a box, and what the
yeah,
hell? It's a little
yeah,
easier if you just burn the thing, put up a picture, and say, "All right, let's take a few shots." Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. Everybody has their own idea of how they want to leave the world, and I just help them support that idea and help them get it done. Um, and then I don't know if you have one real quick or not. Do you have a pen or paper nearby? I want to give you all my information. I want you to know who I am, who you're dealing with, and then I'll have you write all this stuff here about the plan for you.
Oh yes. One second, laddie. 1 second.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. And is this number that we're talking on, is this like your cell phone or house phone?
Oh, this is I have one of those they're not the robots, the Android. It's an Android.
Okay, I got you. Okay, you get text messages on that thing?
Uh,
Okay,
yes.
perfect. Perfect.
I don't send them any, but
But if I sent you one, would you get it? Like I got a digital business card with a picture of me so you could put a face to my voice, all my other info. At least so you have something of me. I'll get you some physical copies mailed out here in the next couple of days, but I just want you to have all that info.
oh yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect. Well,
I get the texts. I just
okay.
don't send. I said don't send them.
Yep, not a problem. I'll send you that text here real quick. Just let me know when you get it. Your phone should ring or vibrate any second now.
Oh, yes, there it is.
I got you.
Oh,
Can you click?
look at
You can
you.
see it?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's me.
Oh, good
Face
looking
only
lad. I
it's a
fancy the
face only a
ladies, so
mother could
don't
love.
take it. Yeah, don't take it the wrong way, you know. But
No, you're fine. But yeah, like I said, I just want you to have all my information, and then if you got that pen and paper, um, we can kind of get the look in here for you. But like I said,
yes,
I
yes,
do.
yes. I got the pen and paper.
Okay, perfect. Like I said before, not to beat a dead horse or whatever, but I do work with about 50 different companies. I'm able to see all their rates, all their prices. I'm going to have them all up on the screen here today, so I'm going to look at every single one for you. That way, to save you that hassle, of talking to 10, 15 different people. Most people don't like talking about this once, let alone going through the circus multiple times. So we'll take care of it for you here. But either way, if you do qualify, we find something that you want to take advantage of today, I am going to get that welcome packet sent out to you. That way, you'll have all my information plus everything about the plan and the company that you qualify for. But you'll get that 3 to 4 business days. And then you would get the actual policy from the company. Give it about 2 weeks, 3 at the most. But I'll give you a call here in about 2 weeks just to make sure you got it anyway. But that way, we'll have everything that we're going to talk about here today in black and white for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then just to figure out, what you do qualify for, do you have any history of like heart, liver, kidney, or lung issues?
Oh no.
No, perfect. How about
I am
history of like
healthy as an elephant, or is it a horse?
either one? I think they're probably both healthy. I think they eat organic. Um, but any history for you of like cancers, heart attacks, or strokes,
Oh,
like
oh no.
COPD, diabetes,
Oh
kidney
no.
dialysis?
No, nothing
Okay.
like that.
Perfect. So spring chicken for real then. Any medications doctors got you taken or anything they've ever prescribed and you don't have to take?
Metoprolol.
Okay. Yep. Yep. You pronounce it just about as good as I do. So they're all hard to pronounce. But is that the only one you got? Just the metoprolol?
Yes.
Okay. Anything prescribed you don't take?
Uh, just the Viagra. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Fair enough. Well, that's not going to hurt you, I don't think. Um, and then let's see here. And then how tall are you as of today?
Well, the doctor said something the other day, and it seems like I shrunk. But
It happens.
yeah, I used to be about 5'8". I'm about 5'3" now.
Okay. I got you. How much did you weigh today? Or when they last weighed you?
160 pounds.
All right, so solid muscle. And then you said you were how old again, by the way?
73.
That's right, 73. Okay. And then any tobacco use, nicotine, pouches,
I, s-
vapes?
I've been a smoker since I was 13.
All right,
Yeah,
there
but my
you go.
lungs are fine.
I got you. Perfect. Is that so? No COPD, no inhalers, nothing, huh?
No, nothing.
All right, so you're one of the outliers.
Yeah, the smoke keeps my lungs healthy. That's how I see it.
I had a client the other day that brought something to my attention. He said he only smokes when he's at a party, so that way he doesn't get secondhand smoke. So, for each their own. I'm glad the it hasn't harmed you or anything. So maybe you're not getting the secondhand smoke either.
Everybody
Um,
gets my second hand and I don't, so
yeah, there you
honestly,
go.
I'm
Always,
healthier for it.
yep.
That's it
Sharing
for
is
1 second.
caring.
I want to pause for 1 second. Ben, so far, have you had much that you would like to?
Nothing, yeah, nothing I would flunk, but I wrote down a couple of things that just critiquing that I would do a little different. That would not necessarily wrong, but things that my attention went to as the
Tell
coach,
us.
right?
Okay.
So really early on, it was the delivery of I think it could be a good fit. I would word it in the negative. I would just say like it might not be a good fit. So you're kind of telling him like,
Okay.
hey, this might not work out and it's okay. So that was just one little tweak. I didn't want to flunk you for that because
Finally.
it's just a little
Yeah.
thing. So saying it in a negative connotation instead. I know that you asked me if I received texts and you saw that I saw it. However, I always make them write down the name and number anyways, because I think it
Yeah.
makes it more real. Plus, they have it on the paper and they're looking at it. If they're on the phone, they might say looking at your picture. They might not, but I just think realistically, I've always made sure that they write my name down, and I even have them, spell it out and my last name, first and last name.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that just builds more reality too. You know, they have to take the time to actually spell out your name.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Um,
And I usually do. I guess for the sake of the role play, I wasn't.
yeah, I figured
But
again,
yeah,
like I
but yeah,
really didn't have much I can pick here, but it's just little things like that, right?
yeah. I gotcha.
And then the last part was you're first of all, let me just say the last one, then I'll say the good things too. Um, the part where you went over the info pack and when you're gonna receive it and all that stuff, I never say that. I felt like you lost me actually. Like my attention actually went off when you said all that. I think that's great to say and it's necessary, but probably something you can add at the end of the call, not in the middle of the call. Like I don't care
Okay.
about that. Like I'm like, great,
Yeah.
let's send it. Awesome.
What if we made it short? Like, hey Ben, just so you know, we're gonna make sure that everything we talk about here gets to you in black and white after you get approved. If I would have said that, would that have been better?
Yeah. I also just think like I never say that during the call ever. I tell them about that at the end when they're enrolled. Like
Okay,
once
cool.
they're
All
signed
right.
up. Yeah.
We can
But I
save
do
it.
agree if it could be shorter, fine. But
It's
otherwise I'm
just
like just
it is an objection though that we do get. Not all the time, but hey, can you guys mail me something? Absolutely. Everybody
hmm.
always gets something in writing after they get approved. And so after we get you approved today, we will be mailing you the physical copy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. I've never had an issue with that rebuttal because I usually go, oh, I can absolutely get you something in the mail. We first just got to see if we can get you qualified so they can actually send you something. And that's it.
Perfect. Exactly. So
That's all I ever say.
it's the same
Okay.
thing, but it's a variation of that. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
Any
make
other
it
things?
concise.
Any other things you had in your notes, Ben?
No, that was it. Literally, that was all. And then on the positive note, and I've told you this before, your tone is great. Your voice sounds, you're calm. Um, you're friendly, you're approachable. I like that I kept beating you with the 40,000 thing, and each time you just kind of, you handled it. Could it be a little bit smoother? Yes, but
Sure.
for the first gradient, first level of coaching you on this, I thought it was fine. I just was more interested in you getting through it more than anything, right? So, um, and it was fine. I did, after like the third time I gave it to you, you really made sure that I understood that, that's not something you're in control of, but that you are willing to help me solve the real reason why I called,
Yeah.
So I thought that was great.
Well, good
Awesome,
deal.
man. Well,
Any
thank you
hard
so much
critiques?
for any harder critiques on them.
You won't hurt my
Um,
feelings.
oh no, honestly, I really no, I don't. Like I try to keep it as simple as like, is my attention on being if more of my attention is on being the actual client than it is on you, you're doing a great job, right?
Okay.
Because my attention's on being the person rather than like all the crappy shit you might be doing, right? So it just showed like I can tell that you've done this a few times, right? Um, I would like to see in a different drill, um, giving you tougher objections and how you handle and your persistence. Because one of the things I know Maritza has commented on a few times just listening to, she's like, you're relentless. And I'm like, I am. Like, I don't take no for an answer until it's the last no. But I'm not uncomfortable about it. I used to be, right? Now it's just like totally got it. All right, well, let's see what they do say. Like, no, but I don't want to blah 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 because blah blah blah. And I go, it makes total sense. And listen, the reason it's also why you should do it, right? So, you know, like the two signups I got yesterday, for example, it was the same lady, same call. Um, and she was like, I don't know if I can afford, and I'm like, okay, what can you afford? $100, fine. And she said that like with no com lag, like there was no lag. She just said that instantly. I'm like, this lady can probably afford more, right? But she didn't want to open up about her finances, which I thought was fine too. I'm like, I pressed a little and I pressed, and she was like, yeah, but I just it's enough, and my granddaughter helps me, and blah whatever, all this stuff. And I put her on the account so she can help if anything. Um, so I knew that that wasn't an issue. So what did I do? I submit the AmAm app, right? That one went pending. I was like, okay, well, this one's pending, and I could tell I had built enough rapport with it that I was just gonna take her to the next step. I said, look, you actually just qualified for one of the best carriers we have, right? It's also how you deliver it to the person. And this only comes up when people go pending, right? And I want to make sure that we get you something in place for sure. I want to do my job right. Now, this other company, they have a higher percentage of approving people. What do you say we just give them a shot as well? And she said, yeah, let's do it. And so we applied, we got instantly approved for 15,000 with them, and the other 15 is pending. And I told her, here's the two scenarios. You might get approved for this other one, you might not. You might get approved and you might want to cancel it. That's okay. Or you might get approved, give it a month. If you can afford it and it's fine and you want to keep both, hey, your granddaughter's gonna have $30,000. She's like, yeah, I don't know if I can. I'm like, it's fine. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? If you don't have the money there, you can't pay them anyways, and you just call me or I'll be checking in on you and we just cancel it. She's like, yeah, yeah. So like the point being, like, you have to just be willing to push. And what is the result you really want for that person? I really did want to get her something approved because she was so willing to work with me that I'm like, how do I not get something here? It's like it's impossible. So yeah, we'll see. This other one might get approved, it might not, but either way, she got this one approved. So happy about that. And yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, I don't know if there's anything like I would like to know, Shyler, is there anything your attention goes to on the drill? Because then I can do better at paying attention just to that detail if there's something specific that you're having your attention on when you're on the call.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I usually just kind of take it as it comes, like whatever information they're giving me or whatever they're saying.
And
I'll
that's the
try
way
to
to do
just
it.
I'll try to roll with it.
Yep.
Obviously,
And
like
that's the way to do it.
can't do the script verbatim every single time, but
Yep.
I just
The
try to
other
handle.
thing that, yep, I was gonna say really quick. The other thing I would try to do if you don't already do it, I know Maritza started using it too, but just telling a story, making yourself more relatable, making yourself more real as a human rather than just another person that is gonna take an order,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like I always use the example of my grandma because there's some truth to that story. It's not entirely true, and sometimes I might vary a couple of things here and there, but in general, the concept is my grandmother had a term policy. It expired. My family didn't get the money. We had to come up with the money. It was horrible. I wish another agent would have done what I'm doing with you right here, which is making sure that you know the difference between term and whole life. Most people don't know. Oh, I already know what that is. That's great. So you know there's an expiration date on it. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I want to make sure you know if I'm going to get you something, it's going to be something that would not go away. Yeah, it's exactly what I want. Whatever. So telling a story, it's huge.
Say the other thing, Leslie, of like what I noticed about you being relentless, Ben, is being unreasonable about helping them now because
Yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen. Like you literally pulled that couple out of bed the other day. Like literally dragged them out of bed and the husband was falling asleep, like
Yeah.
came back and continued and like called them back even after you figured out a bunch of things and called them back and dragged them out of bed.
Yeah, literally. It's true. They were in bed and they're like, we're in bed and they only have a landline. And the husband's like, my wife is the one that handles the insurance stuff, but I could tell he was serious. He was like, talk to her. And I had already talked to her before. I just had to remind her a couple of things. So I actually pulled up her old policy and I gave her data that only I would know if she gave it to me. And so I was like, yeah, you still live at this address, still the last four is blah, blah, blah. Like, so just really quickly, I went for building up that trust again with her, and I did. And I said, yeah, unfortunately, remember we applied, but you actually didn't get approved. And you told me to call you back and make sure we can get your husband enough where it could help both of you. She was like, yeah. So, but it's true. My point was I told Maritza this after that call. I was like, they're on the phone with you already. Like they already answered. They already took the energy to take your call. Anything else they say is not going to invalidate the reach of being willing to be on the phone with you. That already happened. They're already willing to talk to you. Now, are you willing to acknowledge what they say and just persist to what your job is, which is really making sure that there's something in place for their family, right? So it's easy to forget that when you get flustered in the moment with the person that's in front of you. But as long as you have that intent with your call of like, okay, so this person that I'm talking to, I've just ingrained it. It's just a part of every call, you know,
Right.
like every person, someone that I can help make their life better. You have to know that. You
Yeah.
have to keep that in mind.
And I thought about
Um,
this because of the like you told me with that guy that I let my feelings of not being rude to him get in the way.
yeah,
And so like I thought about this of they're coming, this is such an emotional purchase for them that we can't have any feelings. And I thought about this other story in real estate. It was this lady was going into foreclosure. Her husband had just passed away, and my buddy was trying to help them, but she was crying and everything that he was like, you know what, we'll just take care of this when you feel better. And then a month passed and the house dropped like $30,000. The interest rates changed or whatever, and prices dropped like $30,000. And so he had to come to her and tell her that. And she was like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you push me? This was you were the professional. Why didn't you push me? He's like, I'm sorry. You just were going through a hard time. She's like, yeah, I was, and that's why it was your job to help me, right?
yeah,
And I thought of that, yeah, in the case of that guy yesterday, because now I can't get a hold of him. Is like his wife is in a facility. What if she passes away and I
right.
didn't push him to get the policy? Now
You got it.
I screwed him over.
Right. And here's the thing. It happened to me a lot at the beginning too. And I would tell Griffin, like, and I'm sure he remembers. I'm like, oh, it's okay though. Like, I'll get him on the phone again. You know how many people I had, like what you just said, where
Mhm,
I'm like, I'll get them on, and I couldn't. I have people I've written up, and stuff happens with their policy, and I cannot get them on the phone. Like, I'm like, what the hell, right? So
mhm,
you really do have to think with that those moments when they're on that call. It might be the only time you can actually help them set this thing up, because for whatever reason, you got connected now. What do we make of now, right? So, and at the end of the day, they're gonna be pissed because you pushed them. They're gonna be pissed because you didn't push them. Like if they are pissed, let's say, right? It can go both ways. So it's like, why not err on the side of like, well, at least we got you set up, and at least we got you something. Um, and if they get pissed later, then take it up then, whatever. But the point is, your job is to make sure that they don't get off that phone until they actually have a policy in place. Um, yeah, purpose. It goes back to purpose. The more on purpose you are, the easier it is to handle objections, right? You're not going to be reasonable about any of the stuff that they say. You're going to be understanding, right? It doesn't mean be an asshole. It doesn't mean like don't care. If anything, you care a lot. It's actually called hard sell. Hard sell means insisting that people buy. It means caring enough to get them through the stops or barriers to get them the service or the thing that's going to help them, right? Now, that is not verbatim, but that is a L. Ron Hubbard definition of hard sell, like my version of it, explaining it to you guys. I'll get the real quote for you when I have a chance and I'll read it to you, but that's what we do. Like, the person's life is going to be better. Is it going to be more uncomfortable at some point or whatever? It can be, the person has to like change their life for a month in order to get through a detox program. That might be tough, that might be difficult, but guess what? At the end of the whole thing, they always thank you. They're always like, wow, I should have done this way earlier. So it's the same concept. Care about the person. Don't be reasonable about all of their stuff. Like, they're calling because they want the help. Everything else is just kind of something to be acknowledged and moved on with. Like that's pretty much the whole point. It sounds like Griffin's on a call or something, or it looks like
mhm.
rather.
Yep.
Cool. Was there anyone else on this call specifically that was running into any issues, uh, you know, that they wanted to iron out or they wanted to specifically role play a little more or anything like that?
Yeah, so yesterday we started calling Texas. There's a bunch of leads in there, and honestly I was getting a lot more answers, so
Good.
it was good. But I noticed like nobody knew what the hell we were talking about, and they're a little bit younger. And I figured out that they're Medicare leads, which is fine
Uh,
because I'm getting
okay.
answers. So I'm just kind of like I mean I adjusted the script for myself to kind of like make that
I was about to say
transition.
that. That was the first thing I
Yeah.
was to say. I was like, I would probably just adjust it like, hey, so our company helped you with your Medicare not too long ago. How's
Well,
that
they
still go?
haven't been
I
helped with Medicare. Some of them
Oh,
still like are interested. So
okay.
just kind of getting through that transition. telling them that we'll help them and I'll have like someone give them a call. So just kind of jotting down their information, but then
Yeah.
having that transition. So what I came up with was actually kind of re like I said, I kind of rewrote the script. Is where is it?
I like Thomas's sweatshirt. That's the motto, baby. Just do it.
I don't like that sweater. He's been
It's my
wearing it
favorite.
like every other
Favorite.
day for like 5 years.
It's a great sweater.
It's a
You
beautiful
know,
sweater.
and
It's like
one of my
stained.
favorites, yeah, it's staying now. One of my favorite speeches right now is that Art Williams, do
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
Just
do
do
it,
it.
do
Just
it,
do
do it.
it.
It's so true. It's so true. It's such a great, yeah, it's awesome. And it's funny because Maritza actually bullied me about a picture where I was wearing a similar sweatshirt. So maybe it's the color and the sweatshirt that just triggers her. I don't know.
One of
Remember
my
when you
favorite.
said it was mostly the sunglasses, but
It
the
was the
picture when I was in,
sunglasses, yeah.
yeah, in Colorado, you're like, you look like Max from
I thought it was
Goofy.
cool actually.
Uh,
Um, so this is pretty much what I kind of came up with. Like we
let me see. Let me see.
looks like you had responded to something about Medicare. We just wanted to check to make sure you were squared away. And basically, if they weren't squared away, okay, I'll just write your number down and we'll help
I
you.
think this is fucking awesome because you know what happens here is like anyone that you get that needs help with this, that we have someone go back and sell, they can get you something. Like we can give you something.
Right.
But
Most people.
also if you do good enough on this, exactly. Most people I speak with, especially the blah, yeah, they don't have exactly. Yeah, this is simple. Is this something that crossed your mind
Hmm.
or not really? I would not say that part. I would say, what's your plan?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think
You
I've said
know?
that. Yeah, I just kind of this part like I'm mostly like if I highlight what I'm mostly focusing on is like this, are you squared away? If not, like
Yeah.
we'll square you away. Um,
Yeah, did you get help with your Medicare? Yes, no, right? Okay, good. You
and then
haven't
this
totally
part.
got it. Let's set up a time for you now. Here's another, thing. The main reason why I call my, the people that I reach out to is because I'm trying to get them some help with blah blah blah. What do you currently have in place for that? Boom. Like just go right into it. They're
Right,
already on the
and
phone with you.
exactly. And so like right here, and I don't have it, I should add it. So basically I kind of just like I jump from here to here and then here. Like, hey, I'm
Okay.
licensed. I just want you to let you know about some programs in your area. I'm licensed with the state. We work with over 30 people. We just make sure you get the best coverage.
Right.
Get your
Okay.
loved ones taken care of. But it's just been
Perfect.
it was like, I didn't figure that towards the end till after towards the end, so it was just kind of like I'm playing around with that transition, making sure like I don't struggle.
Yeah.
Also, I got a lot of Spanish speakers yesterday, and so I don't
That
I,
helps. Spanish is so much easier. It's stupid. Like I don't know. It's like Spanish people are nicer.
it was especially because I told them like right off the bat, I was like, oh, by the way, just be patient with me. I'm a pochita, so just be patient with me. Oh, they're like, oh, that's okay, honey, blah blah blah. And then
Yeah,
I
you
think they
hit them
just
with the
appreciate,
reality.
yeah, they
It's
appreciate that someone's willing to talk to them about this in Spanish.
yeah. No, it's true. And I'm telling you guys, like there's so much more to look forward to here. This is the grind, this is the beginning. It's tough, fine, but I'm at the point where Griffin and I talked about this for a little while, but we could set up shop at a freaking Walmart for a few hours every week and just collect identities for Medicare, and then we can go back and sell them life insurance. Like there's other things to do that are fun, and we're not just confined to a phone, if that's, you know what I mean? This is
Hmm.
just one of the simpler ways to do work, and it's remote, and that's, it's appealing because you can do it from anywhere. It's true. But even like later on, you guys take a trip or you come back to the States for a little bit, like there's other things that you can do or maybe even from over there. You could start building a team remotely that's over here once you guys are ready to do that. So I just don't want, like, I always tell people, like, don't lose sight of the bigger picture too. Like, this is the stuff that's tough now that, I mean, you could see it with me. Like, I really do feel comfortable to the point where, like, I'm like, I could just do the calls and whatever. Right. So, yeah. Anything else? Thomas, did you run into anything you needed help with?
No, I mean, when we were talking about earlier, one thing that came to mind that kind of helped me get further in the conversations And granted, I
Mhm.
haven't had a lot of conversations that got too far.
Yeah.
But it helps to like the things that we need to know, why they're on the call, who's their beneficiary. It's just
Yeah.
asking that question in different variations. So I think that might help other people that might not think that way.
Hmm.
Um, but if they talk to me, I'm having no problem getting the information that I need. The problem is I haven't got a lot of people to actually sit down and listen.
Yeah. We just need more people. I think it is gonna help, guys. Like, it's not the why, but it does get obviously like easier and better when you have more licenses and more chances for inbounds. Like, I just think it's better because they are gonna be hotter to the degree that they're the ones doing the reaching, right?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but I've gotten sales doing outbounds. I've gotten a good amount of sales, right? Um, I will I will say I started off with a lot of licenses anyway, so I never had the consideration of like, oh, what if I can't write this? Which I think you guys are past that now, right?
We actually talked to Griffin about that.
Okay.
Uh, and we basically he said that we could just get set up on inbound and then we can get the licenses as we go.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's exactly what I would recommend. So less attention on stuff like that. Like, oh, what if I talk to someone that I can't? So like don't have any attention on that. We'll tackle that when we get there and we've done it before. It's not an issue.
Yeah,
And
so
then
I agree.
basically we're ready to go whenever we get set up.
I
okay,
think
cool.
just to reply what you're thinking, I think at the end of the day, there's a small, if you want to call it fear of the unknown of how
Yeah.
the call is going to transition further.
Yeah.
But we're trying to work through that. I think I listened to some of Marissa's too. She getting them to talk when they talk is pretty good.
Yeah.
Personally, I have no problem like beating them up with fucking questions, but
Yeah.
I just need to get to that spot.
I think I'm better past the grading, but then after I get past the grading, the questions is where I get like flustered, and Thomas is better on the opposite side.
Nice. Okay. Well, it's good that you guys have some awareness on that too. So those are some things you can definitely write down as far as like what you want to work on, right? And just work on it on the calls too, right? Like you can do the role play in between, yeah, that's fine, but also just realize you'll get better to really do it when you focus on improving it while you're on a call, right? So if we break it down into simplicity, where through good communication, we're raising the person's like or dislike of us, right? And we become more real to them. People that become more real, we're willing to hear them out. We're willing to, because we can understand them. So really, you're only ever trying to understand the person. And so acknowledgments are your best friend, and having your attention on what they're worried about is more important than what you're worried about, right? So even if you might say the wrong things, it doesn't matter if it's still getting across to the person, hey, what you said, I totally got it. So that's why I'm like, focus on reading the script. Even if you sound like a robot at the beginning, it doesn't matter. And I know neither of you do, but I'm just saying, like, let's focus more on the importances and on winning rather than like the things that might freak us out or might happen. Those things are going to happen if they happen. So just focus more on getting the repetitions in on the usual stuff that you're definitely going to do. Just.
Yep.
One thing I'll just say it. I had a good conversation with Ryan. It was really positive, and I like the guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He mentioned that if we wanted to, Maritza, whether we do it separately or together, we can do trainings, right? Like,
I already
Yeah.
hey guys,
messaged him this
we want
morning.
fucking daily trainings. The thought that came to mind is like, what would that look like? Because I imagine I should have something like, hey, this is what I want to work on. But we're at a point where we haven't got enough in the script or through the script that I don't know what to bring to you guys. Does that make
That's
sense?
okay.
I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes
it
sense.
could also just be this simple, right? It could be,
Yeah.
hey, how about you just role play anyway, like just get through the script with the person. It doesn't matter. Like if there's not a specific thing, then how about, he has a lot of scenarios that you might not even be thinking with, right? There's things you don't
True.
know that he might know in terms of how you can improve. So if I was gonna do a training with you, for example, even if you didn't have anything to bring, I would say, okay, good. Let's take up your greeting start. and just critique that part. Oh, it sounds good. Let's go to the next part. Okay, good. Now let's go through the whole script once. I want to see like how well do you track with the script? Real, I'm gonna do as best as I can to, to try to steer you off into the weeds, and then how well do you get me back on track, right? There's a course that I highly recommend. It's actually, I was supervising a VIP on this course at our church the last 3 days, which is why my schedule had to change. And this is actually the exact course that Grant talks about or references at the beginning of Sell or Be Sold. It's called Success Through Communications. That course is $100, and it is designed, literally, the purpose of the course is to give you the ability to guide and control communication for business and everyday life. Like that's literally the whole point of that course. And what I realized, when I was talking this morning with Griffin before we jumped onto the group call, I was like, dude, you know what it is? Like for me, I've reached a different level. Like I've unlocked Super Saiyan 3, right? I'm like, what it is I'm in this super calm state of mind. In fact, I noticed that it's true because when I did this role play with Devin this morning, I wasn't worried or anticipating what he was going to say. And in the past, I would have been like, oh my God, like this guy's going to try to clobber me. I'm like, nope, I'm just here. And that's the number one takeaway you get from the course is like, no matter what you're going to handle in communication, it all starts with being able to be there comfortably. If you can't be there comfortably, you cannot actually be in communication. And so all 20 drills in that course, really they're 19, but those drills are designed to build on each other. And the first 2 drills are literally just getting you able to be comfortably in front of somebody or across from somebody, whether that's a call or in person, but you're doing it in person, right? First drills with your eyes closed, so you're able to be there comfortably in that space. And then the next one's with the eyes open, being able to be comfortably in front of someone else, like looking at someone else. So you might think like, wow, that's so simple and stupid, but yeah, it works. It's the first requisite, you cannot confront someone if you're not in the same space as them. So that's why the first drill is being able to be in a space comfortably.
We can do
Right.
that one. That one has to be in person.
Yeah, that course, yeah.
Tell
You guys
us.
can make a trip out here to Miami and,
Well, we can go down to the Del Valle.
that's true. That's true. I just wanted a good reason to make you guys come over here. But yeah, honestly, Del Valle is great. I've
Do they
only
do
heard
in
amazing
English?
things.
Do they do these things in English?
You can do the course in English there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the supervisor, if they're bilingual, it'll be fine. If they're not, it might be tough because it is a communication course.
Right.
But like, yeah, I can do it in either, obviously. But can they deliver it? I don't know their delivery team. Like, I don't know who they have that is or can't, but should they be able to? Yes. Like they should be able to get you an English course pack if that's what you guys want, so you guys can do it in English. Yeah. And then I can find that out today for you if you want, by the way, because I got people with the connections in that org, so they could just ask them like, hey, do you have a supervisor that can supervise in English?
Yeah.
So
Can you find
yeah.
that out? Because if it's $100 there, it's probably like 20 here.
Yeah, it's true. And it's such a good course. And it tells you at the end it's worth doing over and over. And I see it. It's so good. But yeah, that's really what changed for me the last couple of days is like I just came into this like calm, I'm present thing with every person I talk to. So yeah. I'm gonna send you something in the chat, Thomas.
Copy that.
I think it's cool. I think we should all use it.
Oh,
Actually, that's gonna be a Maritza thing. She's the
Oh,
fancy
there you
one.
go.
here, I'll send it in support just so everybody has it. And you didn't send it to Thomas, you sent it to everybody.
Oh yeah, I just dropped it in the chat. I just knew he was gonna see it.
We
I
got
made it
tired
because my
of
dogs keep fucking bringing up random stuff.
Yeah, Griffin, I asked him like, oh, how do we get the little LC porter? He's like, ask Thomas. He could send it. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, if there's nothing else specifically, really the best thing, and I've said it before and I'll keep saying it, just get on the phones. Like just get in there because you'll find more stuff you suck at, which is also okay. but then you can do something about it. And then you'll also get more comfortable and better at other things while you're doing that. So just
Copy
call
that.
and call and call, get people on the phones. And as soon as you guys have, I told Marissa this, like, it can happen where like we rather have the person call us on a call, like call us to get onto a call to help if they have the banking info already and they already know like what the person's qualified for. Here's the thing. I didn't do that for like the first 10 calls. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't care. If you guys call me and it's a little, you shot it, what's the word? You pulled the trigger a little too quick to get help. I don't care. I'm not gonna like get upset with you guys about it. I think it's fine, but I do ask that when you do get the help, you're 100. I was not very good at this. I'm not gonna lie. You're 1,000% locked into what the person that's helping you
It's
is doing.
happening. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
very easy to just be like, oh, he's here. Okay, good. I'm good. True, it's fine. It's gonna go well, yes, but take a moment to really see, like, okay, how does he handle this? What is like be present with what the person's doing so you can learn from it, because that's the whole point, is you want to be able to do that on your own. And then always before calling the person, just make sure you're already sharing your screen and the microphone, the audio, sorry. And that's it. And then we'll just go for it. I want you guys to each get at least 2 SBCs today. You want to ask for help at least twice today. Let's go for that, minimally. If not 3 or 4, I don't care. Just do it, I'm here today during the day, by the way, so I'll be here with you guys. What that means though is I got at least in between all that, I get a sale myself or 2, and then be what's it called? I gotta get out of here by around like 5, so should be fine. And I have 2 callbacks actually. I just remembered. The first one I think is at 11 a.m.
I'm gonna try that guy again because this is around the time that he actually did answer, so we'll see.
Yeah, the other thing is try him, and if it doesn't work, send me his number. I'll do like a manager touch, and I'll be like,
Oh yeah,
"Hey,
too.
so my client, sorry, my client, my agent called you, and blah blah blah. How did she do? Oh, she didn't help me. Just kidding.
I didn't. If I didn't
Yeah,
close, I didn't help him.
it's true. But anyways, you see how that one experience that actually stuck with you, right? That's what I'm
Yep.
saying. Like you have to go through the stuff. Like, oh, I let him go. Like you're gonna do better because now you have 2 discomforts. You're gonna be either more uncomfortable about holy shit, the thought of like what if this guy like his wife passes or whatever the hell it is, right? Or the discomfort of like trying to push him to stay on the phone. You're gonna push
Yep.
him to stay on the phone, right? But now you have a comparison, like a real one for you. So that's why it's important to get the reps in because you're
Um,
gonna build your own reality.
yeah, I was gonna say, but also like you breaking down the call was super helpful. So if you ever have more calls where like you're like, oh shit, I ran into this new objection, or I handled this, even like Griffin's like I handled this poorly call
Yeah.
was learning experience, and like sharing those calls is super helpful to add some more reality of
Okay,
how you
cool.
guys
Yeah.
actually fix it.
I'm glad. I appreciate that feedback because that I don't do that often, and
Mhm.
sometimes I don't know if people watch it or not, so it's good to get the feedback. And yeah, whenever I see like this was a good call, I think all of them are, but like specifically like on something that we've been running into or whatever, yeah, I'll make sure that I can do that.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give him a call.
Okay, go for it.
Here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, time to lock and load. I'm gonna switch my audio setup here.
All this contingent